So England coming through what is known as a group of death. How can they not win against New Zealand?
But New Zealand is not a walkover, though.
Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, Sports DTM fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Raymond and I are here to review the big matchup, England versus New Zealand in the first T20 semi-finals. The group stages are now done and dusted, and the big matchups are here. England versus New Zealand. Raymond, how you feel about this match?
Yeah, I'm excited. Even though my demeanor seems like I'm not excited, but I'm actually. The semifinals are here, people. England, as I said, came through a really tough zone and showed their class against New Zealand, who came through a fairly not as strong a zone, but it should be good going against England. New Zealand should put up a good fight. So I'm really excited to see what end up happening in the semifinal round.
And New Zealand versus England is always a very tight encounter. They have played 20 matches between them, England winning 13, New Zealand winning just 7. And if I'm to share with you what has happened so far, so both teams came into the tournament, New Zealand versus England. New Zealand ranked fourth, England ranked number one in T20. And in their last 5 matches, and these are in the group stages, the Super 12 group stages, I see where England won 4 of those 5 matches and playing in the group of death, as you mentioned, Raymond. While New Zealand, on the other hand, playing in an easier group, they won 4 and lost 1 as well. Both teams qualifying for the semi-finals. England winning their group and New Zealand finishing second. But based on this record in the Super 12 stage, Raymond, do you see any team having any advantage in this semi-final?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say England have the advantage. The type of teams they had played only sharpened their experience, their wits, and so I'm expecting them to make good of all those practice that they had in that round and pretty much dispatch of New Zealand. New Zealand, on the other hand, pick up a good form at the end. Some persons said Afghanistan is not a strong side, but that's not true. Afghanistan is really strong if you can look at the run rate, as well as look at where Afghanistan is looking to finish, pretty much within the Super 12 come the next tournament, beating the likes of West Indies, who will fall outside the Super 12. So it's good going for Afghanistan and New Zealand. As I said before, they get a little form at the end of the tournament going into the semi-final.
But we know all these records are stats from the previous round really accounts for nothing in this semi-final. New Zealand, England typically beating New Zealand based on the head-to-head. So this might be New Zealand's biggest challenge yet, coming up against England, a number 1 ranked team versus a number 4 ranked team. And England was overall favorites to win. Um, who you think will be that game changer for England or New Zealand? And if we're to look at the batting records for the team or the players for both teams, so far England have 2 players in the batting with most runs in the series so far. The stats showing Josh Butler, number 2, 240 runs, a batting average of 120, and Jason Roy is opening partner with all the way down at 23 at number 31. Do you see anybody else who will take up the mantle and be that game changer for England?
So quickly, Kurt, I agree. Butler is having a crack of a tournament. Once he continues that form, he will be super dangerous. Malan, who is one of the number one ranked persons coming into the tournament, has not shown up as yet. We're hoping that he's not having a Chris Gale type. I doubt it, but he has not shown up as yet. He's expected that when the team needs him, when other persons are not performing, he will show up and put some serious runs on the board. But so far, he's not. He has not shown up big time. But Butler doing it big for them, and as such, Malan is pretty much contented at observing, from the sidelines and pretty much feeling and stuff like that, and allowing Butler to shine with the bat.
So on the batting card for New Zealand, we have 3 players in the top 50. Right, they're not as prolific as Butler, but we have Martin Guptill at 11. He has scored 176 so far, average 35.2. We have Kane Williamson, the captain. He's 126 runs so far, average 42. And Daryl Mitchell at number 29, 127. So on the batting card, you have more New Zealand batsmen in the top 50 than the English. And also, England might have a challenge with Jason Roy being out injured.
Yeah, so for me, it's Guptill. Martin Guptill will pretty much have to do it as big as possible for New Zealand. Mitchell should chip in to help his cause and create some problem for England. The absent or injury of the English player, Jason Roy, yes, might create some problem, which means that more work pretty much for the other players to pick up the slack and hopefully get them over the line.
And as you talk about Jason Roy being injured, there will have to be a replacement for him. And so I think there will also be an adjustment in the batting order because they've not gone with a specialist opener. So Johnny Bairstow will probably be promoted to open the batting with Butler. But who do you see as that replacement for Roy?
So it's either Johnny or the other guy named Sam, right?
David, Sam Billings or David.
Okay.
Willie.
Okay. David Willie or Sam. All right. So actually, Sam is a wicket keeper, a fairly good batsman. I will go with an all-rounder. So David would be David would be the replacement.
So and if David comes in, then the batting will be a little weakened. So we can look at the options they have in terms of bowlers now, because the team with the better balance is probably the one that will win. So if I share with you the outstanding bowlers that we've seen for both teams so far, so let's get it. Right, so the leading wicket takers in the competition for both teams, we have at the top of the standing is the Sri Lankan, and him not make the semi-final, so we don't need to talk about him. Trent Bolt from New Zealand with 11 wickets, right? He's at number 3. We have Adid Rashid, 8 wickets so far. He's at number 12. You have Ish Sodi with 8, Moeen Ali with 7, Timal Mills with 7, Tim Saudi with 7 as well. So you have more English bowlers in the top 50 than the New Zealand bowlers. We have 4 English bowlers opposed to 3 New Zealand bowlers in the top 50 wicket takers so far. So based on this, I'm seeing it would appear as if New Zealand have a better balanced team going into the semi-final.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. But what I'm not seeing is what's the econ rate. You know how expensive they are. I imagine that with the wicket all and stuff like that, and runs being at 15 and stuff like that.
So,
I'm not seeing the econ rate, but
so if I can,
um,
I'll try and see if I can find that to share with you. I'm not sure how many English bowlers are in there, but the top ranked of any of the teams in terms of economic rate is Moeen Ali, 5.5 so far, and then Tim Saudi 5.7. You have the Liam Livingstone
so
5.8.
exactly what I thought. Exactly what I thought. Everybody saw the run the net run rate that England achieved. It's not so much along with the batting, because clearly they had to bowl on the teams and they had to do it in an economic manner. And this kind of show you the level of strength the bowling for England have in terms of limiting how much scores are put on the board. So this might prove that England, to me, might have a more balanced side in terms of limiting how explosive New Zealand can get and push more scores on the board.
Right. So you pretty much have England to take this one easily.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
New, New Zealand is never a walkover, and they've been consistent so far. And they're coming into the semi-final with a positive attitude after winning 4 on the trot, while England stumbled a little and they've lost Jason Roy, so they might be on the back foot. But uh, name one player who will be the game changer.
Malan.
Fine.
If Malan shows up and England don't choke, them get the one loss out of the way. So it's probably a good thing that they have a 100% record. So them get that one loss out of the way. Once them don't choke and Malan shows up, assisting Butler, I can't see why
We,
he can't push our way to the finals.
we always talk about winning the toss. What does England need to do to win, or what does New Zealand need to do to win?
All right, so England now should pretty much, if they win the toss, should send New Zealand to bat, because this is about limiting scores. And as I said, England has enough firepower from a bowling perspective, a much balanced team to contain people and go out chasing. So whatever happens, England should actually bat second.
And I can say the same thing for New Zealand. Win the toss, make England bat first, and then chase down the runs. But fans out there, we would love to hear from you. Who you think are going to win this matchup between England and New Zealand? The first semi-finals between the two in the ICC T20 World Cup. Leave all those comments in the comment section below. New Zealand chasing their first title, England chasing their second to equal the West Indies. Have to find some way to bring the West Indies in. Leave all those comments in the comment section below. And always remember to like, to share, and to subscribe, and to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell all of them friends to come and join the Sports DTM family. This has been another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Be blessed.